What is up YouTube, my name is John and today I will be trying something completely different, something that I have not done on this channel yet, a completely original idea. Yeah, that is right, no one has done this before. And yeah, as you can see, I will be ranking metalcore bands from S to not heard yet, or actually D. So S is the best, A, B, C, D, and a lot of bands that I probably haven't heard yet from what I'm seeing down here, but yeah, there are mostly metalcore bands, some gent bands, stuff like that. So yeah, this can give you guys a good idea about what metalcore bands I like most, what metalcore bands I don't really like, and especially what metalcore bands I have not heard yet. So you can tell me down in the comments to which band that I have not heard yet I should react, and I will see what I can do about that. But right now, let's begin. Now the first band is I the Breather, and I have not heard that band yet. But the second band I have already heard, and I actually did a reaction on my channel to Any Given Day, and I've actually listened to the whole latest album, or the previous latest album, that was Levels, I believe. That was a really cool album. I really like their sound, they have a really heavy and melodic sound, and they have an amazing singer, and I believe that singer was in the band name something like the Butterfly Effect. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but he's a really great singer. I really enjoy his voice, and he's really selling the band a lot. The music is great, don't get me wrong, but I believe they still haven't reached their full potential yet. So I'm gonna give them a B. Now Avenged Sevenfold, that is a whole another story, because I'm going to be completely honest, when I heard Avenged Sevenfold for the first time, I didn't like them at all. For some reason it just rubbed me the wrong way, but I discovered most of their discography, I would say. I mean, the first album, I never really heard all that many songs from the first album, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. But Avenged Sevenfold are definitely up there in S, because goddammit, all the members are so freaking talented. And after, hearing the songs from the last album, The Stage, these guys can go even, the prog path. They can just do whatever they want. And yeah, I mean, the Hail to the King album kinda, didn't catch my attention all that well, but all the other stuff is just freaking fantastic. Now Emure, I have heard quite a few songs from these guys, and I know there have been tons of jokes, all those zeros being played and stuff like that, but I believe that their music has a lot of energy. And even though they are definitely not my favorite band, I can see myself enjoying, live concert, especially live concert. I believe this is the kind of band that I would prefer live, opposed to, just listening to them at home, in my spare time. So I'm gonna give them B as well. Now, Born of Osiris. This is a band that, one of the first really, that new school, I like to call it new school genty band. But yeah, these guys were I believe one of the first gent kind of, this new progressive metal kind of style bands that I've heard, and they impressed me so much, and they continue to put out great stuff. Even though I don't believe this is for an S, I believe this is for an A, but these guys are really freaking talented, and the songwriting is just off the charts sometimes. So yeah, there is that. Now Alpha Wolf, I have not heard that band yet, and same goes, I believe, for Issues. Man, if I heard any of these bands and I will put them in the not heard yet, I'm going to slap myself in the face. But yeah, While She Sleeps, I have not heard all that many songs, but from what I heard a song with Ollie Sykes, and I did another song on my channel that was Antisocial, and they have this kind of hardcore vibe to their music, which is not my favorite, but they kind of sell it really well, at least to my ears, and I'm gonna give them a B because I enjoy their music, but it's not something that I would, just go overboard for. Capture the Freaking Crowd. Oh my guys. Or not oh my guys, but oh my god, are these guys still alive? Are they still playing music? Now the last thing that I heard about this band is that everyone left basically. Just the singer was left basically in the band. And yeah, that is pretty much everything that I know. But I remember hearing that one song with a really long title that had knives in it or something like that. And I was like, okay, so these guys are just, trying to ride the wave, trying to, just get on what's popular right now. At least that's the feeling that I got from it. And it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, don't get me wrong, these guys are probably talented on their instruments, but it just didn't stick well with me. And I was like, okay, this is not for me, I'm moving on. So I'm going to give these guys a sorry. Not sorry, by the way. Crown the Empire. Have not heard that one yet. Northlane, I believe I reacted to these guys on the channel, and yeah, it was a really cool metalcore and a lot of good energy. Again, something that I do enjoy, even though I would not play it at home, like for my own listening pleasure, but definitely very enjoyable, so I'm going to put them into B. Between Buried and Me, oh my lord, this band is crazy. Now, I've done on my channel, I believe, Ends of the Sky, but I've listened to more of their songs, and these guys are just on their own level, basically. These guys are so freaking crazy songwriting, so many changes, and once I saw that Extremophobe Elite or something like that, Extremophile Elite, yeah, I believe that was the title of the song. I actually checked that on Truan's channel, his reaction to the song, and when I saw that freaking trombone or whatever that was, I was like, okay, this is epic, and therefore these guys definitely do belong in the S tier. All that remains. Oh damn, this is one of my first metalcore bands actually, and the first album was kinda, it was their starting point. It was not really all that enjoyable for me, but with the second album, This Darkened Heart, they definitely stepped it up a ton, and it was really enjoyable. From Deepest Grey, or The Deepest Grey, I believe it was the song that really caught my attention, but what really sold this band to me was the song This Calling, especially the album The Fall of Ideals. I believe that is one of the best metalcore albums ever made. The Fall of Ideals, I mean, just listen to This Calling, that song is an unstoppable train of metalcore goodness. Phil's vocals are phenomenal on that album. Ollie, may he rest in peace, his guitar playing actually still is freaking phenomenal. His solos are so freaking clean and creative. But after that album, I just knew that they could not top that album. And while those albums after that, well, still kinda good, it just went on this, it went kinda down after a time. So a war that you cannot win, that album was the kind of the breaking point for me, because after that it just kinda, I don't know, man, I just kinda lost interest. And Madness, maybe 2-3 songs that I enjoyed. I almost didn't enjoy maybe 1 or 2 songs on the order of things. But yeah, the latest album, The Victim of a New Disease, was kind of a, they are starting to gain traction again. Phil's vocals here starting, especially on the cleans, he's starting to sound more and more like, Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch, I believe. But yeah, I'm going to put these guys, the latest album have not really caught my attention all that much, but just for that 1 or actually 2 freaking amazing albums, I'm gonna give them an A. We butter the bread with butter. Now, I don't know that band, I know that somebody requested it a long time ago, but I might check it out in the future. Novelist, again, I don't know that band. Slipknot. Slipknot is a band of a generation, and these guys, I mean, can I do anything else but as, because these guys combined masks with brutal music, and over the years, I know that some fans didn't like it, but they evolved more. They kinda, matured, goddammit, English, work with me here. They matured their songwriting, so, you have songs like Sulfur, but you still got heavy hitters like All Hope Is Gone, and, the hit songs like Psychosocial. Even one of my friends who is a hip-hop head, told me, hey, I like this one metal song, just one though, and it was Psychosocial. So yeah, Slipknot definitely, you know, one of my gateway metal bands, and I will forever be thankful for that, because these guys, I will always enjoy some Slipknot, man. I can't wait for the new album to hit. It's going to be great, I believe. But yeah, Tesseract. That is an interesting band with their own sound, and while not all of their songs connect with me all that well, I really enjoy the album where Ashi O'Hara, I believe that was his name, was on vocals. You know, there were these songs of Matter and of, you know, all that kind of stuff. Nocturne, I really enjoy that song as well. And I believe I've heard Smile from the latest album, and I did a reaction to King. That was really cool. And as I said, even though not all their songs connect with me all that well, sometimes it maybe gets, for my taste, a little, you know, dragged out. I believe that these guys still belong in the A tier. Volumes, I don't believe I've heard that band, but Veil of Maya, that is definitely a band that I've heard. And these guys, I actually heard and saw Veil of Maya live when they were playing with Periphery and Soilwork and a couple of other bands. And you know, before that live show, I knew about them. I kinda liked some of their songs, but I wasn't really, you know, a super big fan or anything. But after that show, when I heard Lucas just sing his heart out, and after I heard their newest album, I was completely sold, man. That stuff is such a great mix of technicality, brutality, and melodic, you know, I just love what they do with their guitars, man. It's just so creative. Definitely A tier, because as I said before, some of the older stuff, I really prefer Lucas on vocals, so there is that. August Burns Red. While I like the song Meddler, I definitely do like that song. I actually love that song, that is an amazing song. But for some reason, most of their other songs just, you know, they were kinda yeah, alright, maybe, I don't know. So I'm just going to put them in the B tier, but they definitely got the power. Make Me Famous, don't know the band. After the Burial, heard about them, but never heard the music. Same goes for Abandon All Ships and Upon Dawning Something, I can't even read that. Now Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake, I've actually been listening to their album Helix, and there's just one thing, man. The whole album is super good, and there's that one song, it's just confusing, I believe, and it just does to me what the title of the song is. It's just confusing. So I don't know, man. I didn't really like that, but they do like to experiment, and they really freshened up the metalcore sound like no one else that I know today. No other band has done that, what they have done with metalcore. Their melodies just sound so fresh, and their electronics just, I don't know, man, they just fit so well, and they get so creative in their songwriting. They can go hard as hell, but still melodic. They are, you know, constantly evolving their sound. I believe that these guys belong in the S tier, even though, you know, there are these, it's that weird song, but, you know, they bring in rap, they bring in so many influences. I just have to put them in the S tier. I love Crystal Lake. Alright, here we have Tear Out the Heart. Don't know this band either. I See Stars, I heard about these guys. I believe they've been around for quite a while, but I don't believe I heard any of their songs. God damn it, not heard yet. Tier is basically full right now. Breakdown of Sanity. I did a reaction. I kinda enjoyed it, but that was basically it. It was okay, but yeah, nothing that I would go super hyper about. Nothing that really stood out to me. It was just enjoyable, and that is basically everything there is to it. I'm actually going to put these guys in the C tier because I don't know, man. I just didn't connect with it all that much. I mean, I enjoyed the reaction that I did on this channel, but the rest of the songs just kinda Era? I've heard at least one or two songs, I believe. And these guys are really talented, have an amazing vocalist, gotta say that, really great high notes and stuff like that. and I still have to discover more of them, but I really did enjoy what I've heard so far. So for now, they're definitely going into B tier, but you know, while I might discover more of their songs and they might even, you know, move into the A tier in time. Sylar, I believe this is the name. Alright, never heard that band. Invent Anime, the all-girl band. I actually did a reaction to these gals on my channel. Really enjoy them, that they did really well. And yeah, I think I will just put them into B because yeah, that was pretty damn cool. I really enjoy the sound. Sworn In, never heard before. I Prevail. Now this is the band that I'm not entirely sure if I did a reaction to these guys on the channel, but I have a feeling that I don't know, I wasn't too impressed. For some reason I was like, okay, yeah, this is alright, but yeah, I don't think I will be checking out more. So these guys going into the C tier. Now this is Heaven Shall Burn. And I believe that Heaven Shall Burn was one of the first, you know, heavier, purely harsh vocal driven metalcore band that I really enjoyed. Especially their album Iconoclast, I believe that was the album. I mean, just listen to the song Forlorn Skies. These guys are from Germany, and especially, you know, while the instruments are freaking phenomenal, the vocalist just sells the band. He has such a unique approach to vocals, a unique voice. You know, when he sings in another song where he's, I don't know, he's featured somewhere in another band, you just know it's him, you know. And on harsh vocals, that is sometimes really hard to do. And these guys definitely belong to the A tier. I mean, some of their older stuff and newer stuff doesn't really, you know, do it for me as much, but I still respect the hell out of these guys. Alessana, don't know these guys. Under Oath. Now, a lot of you are probably going to kill me for this, but I never heard a single Under Oath song. Yep, I'm extremely sorry, but not heard yet. Escape the Fate. Honestly, these guys never enjoy their music, sorry. Whitechapel, on the other hand, while I have not heard many songs, the vocals are freaking brutal, and I have yet to hear their newest album, but from what I've read, some reviews, stuff like that, they are kinda evolving the deathcore sound into, you know, something more atmospheric, maybe, you know, some clean vocal stuff like that. And apparently they are really doing a really great job, so I believe for now I'm just going to put them into B because it's not something that I will listen to every day, but if I hear it somewhere, I will be like, yeah, hell to the yeah, man. Alright, Ice 9 Kills. I've done 2 reactions on the channel for these guys, and they just have such a unique approach to metalcore, I would say, you know, really something. This is basically, I think, if Queen played metalcore actually, if Queen in this age played metalcore, this might be something that they would do, you know, with that horror vibe, and it's just so much fun. Their music is a lot of fun, and with the visuals and everything, great vocals and great storytelling, they are very unique, and that is something that I really appreciate. So for me, they belong in the A tier because I still have to, you know, I haven't heard all the songs, so I don't know everything, but I really enjoy them. Stick to Your Guns. I have not heard this band before. Black Whale Brides. Oh lord, where do I even begin? Okay, one thing, I kinda enjoyed the song in the end, but that's about it, man. When I saw the video for Fallen Angels, I'm sorry, but I really hate that song. I cannot stand that song. There's not many songs that I can't stand. This is one of them though, and I don't know, man. If these guys were the kids of Kiss, I would be like, okay, you know, they got all these makeup and stuff, you know, but it's more about Andy Biersack and, you know, the crazy fangirls than it's about the music. I mean, maybe the latest album not so much, Veil, but I just can't, man. Black Veil Brides go to D, sorry. Woe is me, not heard yet. Attack. Oh my god, the crapcore legend, Stick Sickly. I still don't know what to think about this. I'm just going to put them into B because they just, I don't know, man, they just caused something so unique on the internet back in the day, and it was just so much fun. Actually, you know what, into C because the music wasn't all that, super, but it was just a fun band to, mess around with. Gideon, haven't not heard that one yet, like most of the Flames, did a reaction on the channel, quite enjoyed it, but again, it wasn't probably something that I have heard. Actually, no, I'm putting the words out badly. It was enjoyable, but I think I've heard this done before many times, I would say. So it's really good, those guys are talented, but for me it's nothing new, nothing that I would be super hyped about. So I'm going to put them into C tier. Skylit Drive, never heard of the band. Suicide Silence, man, these guys. When Mitch Lucker, rest in peace, was in the band, even though I did not really enjoy them all that much, they had their qualities, The Black Crown, great album, even though I'm not a big fan of the band, I still was able to quite enjoy it. But what happened then? Eddie just got into the band and, they had that You Can Stop Me album, which was still quite good. But then whatever happened, man, I don't know, they just tried new stuff and it did not work out well. It was weird, and I always get these flashbacks back to Jared Dines. And that meme. Oh my god, when they released Doris, all hell broke loose. I just gotta give them the god damn it, what just happened? Alright, sorry about that, my internet did a weird thing, I don't know what happened, but yeah. Currents did a reaction to their songs, I believe at least 2. The Currents, I believe that was one of my first videos actually. And I really enjoy their guitar work, really cool stuff, their guitar work really sells the band, it's very fresh sounding. And even though I don't know all that many of their songs, I really enjoyed what I heard. But, nothing that I would go crazy about, but as I said before, really enjoyable. So going to B. Betrayed Martyrs, have not heard that band before. Demon Hunter, man, that is one of my favorite bands actually. While they might not be as technical as some of these other bands, they have great lyrics, even though I know they're a religious band, but I was able to, in their lyrics, I was able to find the meaning for myself, even though I'm not religious. But yeah, they have great songs that just work. And as I said before, even though they might not be as technical as some of these other bands, they just work, man. The choruses are so good. Ryan Clark has an amazing voice, both clean and harsh vocals. They can do heavy, they can... One thing that I really like about Demon Hunter, they can go really soft. And it doesn't sound bad, like some bands, some heavier bands do these soft songs. And it's like, alright, so they are doing this, to, I guess gain some, fangirls or something like that maybe, but Demon Hunter, they just have that soul even in these slower songs, and it just, the emotions just work for me, man. But as I said, the technicality is, you know what, they are very talented, and even though their music is not that technical, I still really enjoy them, so I'm going to give them the A treatment. Now, Parkway Drive, if it wasn't for the last album, I would give them probably, maybe even S. I would say probably A still, but their latest album, I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't even able to finish it, because, the first song, Wishing Wells, was so amazing, and then, whatever happened, I was still able to enjoy the song The Void, but everything else was just like, what the hell just happened? The riffs were kinda bland, vocals in most places, I don't know what Winston was trying to do. he was trying to sound really convincing, but you know, the opposite. It felt the opposite to me, because I was like, are you for real, man? Like, it did not work at all with me, except, you know, for these two songs, and maybe some cool, you know, little moments here and there. I believe there were some clean vocals on Shadowboxing, and was like, okay, this is starting really promising, and then it got back into that, you know, the spoken word kind of harsh vocal, kind of, you know, something in between. I don't know, man, but they just gotta go into B. I'm sorry. Bad Omens, I believe is the name of this band. Never heard of them before. Bring Me the Horizon. Now this band, well, this band, never really been a big fan, but by the time Sempiternal came out, I was like, these guys are doing something really cool with their sound. And I'm really liking that, man. I listened to that album and I was like, wow, okay, so I'm really starting to like Bring Me the Horizon now. But then, whatever happened, they just got into this, you know, more popular vibe, and their latest album, while some songs kinda work, like Mantra kinda works with me, it's got a good energy, you know, except for, I don't know why they did that thing in the chorus when it ends on like a text-to-speech kinda mantra. I was like, oh, why did you just do that? That just killed the energy of the whole chorus for me, for some reason. And yeah, some songs that I enjoy, but overall, man, I'm sorry, I'm going to give these guys a C. A Day to Remember. Have I heard a song from these guys? I'm not entirely sure. I probably haven't, man. Like, it's crazy, so many bands that I had not heard before. Attila, man, I did Pizza on the channel, it was a ton of fun. You know, this band is fun. They are not taking God damn it, English. They are not taking themselves too seriously, and you know, I salute them for that. They are a ton of fun, and you know, they are just kind of a troll band, and they are just a ton of fun, and I'm going to put them into the B tier. The Browning, I probably haven't heard before. I'm going to be a little biased here, but Periphery, you know, it's my favorite band, man. They just got the greatest mix of technicality, emotion, and everything in between. Amazing vocals, amazing guitars, drums, and electronics, everything is there, and they just keep on evolving with each and every album. They just keep on getting better, man. I just gotta put Periphery into the S tier. Memphis May Fire, probably have not heard any song from these guys, as well as Bless the Fall. Falling in Reverse. I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just gonna put these guys into the D, because that band did not work with me at all. Wage War. I did a reaction to one of their songs on the channel, and I actually recorded a second reaction to another one of their songs, but it was actually, I didn't enjoy it, man. It felt like too breakdownish for me for some reason, and I wasn't really able to, you know, pick out any favorite moments from the songs. I believe a lot of people enjoy this band, and I can see why, because you know, live it's gotta be a lot of fun, you know, just moshing and crowd surfing and circle pitting and everything in this, you know, everything just that people do on these metalcore live shows. But for me, I can see the qualities, but it just did not work. I'm just going to put them into the C tier. For Although Sleeping, have not heard the band yet. Sleeping with Sirens. Another band that just did not work at all for some reason with me. Ocean's 8 Alaska, on the other hand. These guys, crazy songwriting, great vocals, and just, you know, you're just waiting for the next thing that is going to happen, and they just always surprise me with their music, man. I just gotta put them into the A tier. Now, Architects are so amazing in portraying emotions through their music, and they are just doing it so well. I mean, Sam's vocals are just so expressive, and the music, while some people say, you know, it's all the same stuff, you know, it's basically doesn't evolve all that much, but you know, all these breakdowns, they just work. And maybe, you know, a little bit of experimentation on the next album and they will be on a good way into the S tier if that works, but for now, A tier. Amity Affliction did a reaction on the channel, but I have not heard any more songs than that. I believe I actually heard a second song, and you know, it was very enjoyable, very talented, it's got the energy and definitely got, you know, the B tier, the spot in the B tier. Eskimo Callboy, have not heard that band yet. I can't even see what this is. If I were you, have not heard that band at all, as well as Sea and Skies, but Bullet for My Valentine, one of my first metalcore bands, I would say, or heavy metal or whatever you want to call it. The first two albums, fantastic stuff, man, fantastic stuff. I still like to play some of their songs on the drums. But after that, you know, Fever was still really good, but then came Temper, and whatever happened there, I don't know, the label did something to them, maybe said, you know, play a little, you know, for the masses and stuff like that, and you could see, I saw some, you know, interviews with the band and they were not happy at that time at all. And, you know, after Temper, there were actually like 2-3 songs that I really liked on Temper, but after that, they just got back with Venom. It was not as good as the first 3 albums, but it was a step up. But then, whatever happened with Gravity, I actually did a review on my channel. Everything was just really like mediocre, I would say. There was not a whole lot of energy, and even though some of these songs were cool, man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to put them into the B tier. The Devil Wears Prada actually did a video for these guys, even though I don't really remember them all that much. They had interesting songwriting, I believe, but nothing that I would be super hyper about. Going into C tier. Fit for a King did a reaction, and just as with the Devil Wears Prada, enjoyed that song, but I would probably, I don't know, man, it's not something that I would look up, you know, just looking for some new music. I probably wouldn't think about Fit for a King, but the qualities are definitely there, and you know what, I'm actually going to give these guys a B tier because I believe they are really good. Atreyu, I probably never heard any song from these guys, even though someone just said, or I read it on the internet, that these guys are the originators of metalcore or something like that. For me, that's Killswitch Engage. I don't know, man. Atreyu, never heard any of their songs, so there is that. Oh man, you guys are going to kill me. Alright, Phineas. Now, I did a reaction to these guys. A lot of great energy, you know, great breakdown, great vocals, great instrumentals, everything really, you know, spoke to me and I really enjoyed the song that I reacted to, The Word Alive. I believe that Luke Holland was drumming in this band for a while, but, you know, apart from that, I heard a couple of songs and it just, I don't know, man, it just didn't really work, it just didn't really stick for some reason. Thy Art is Murder, these guys go hard, these guys are talented, and they definitely belong into the B tier. We Came as Romans, rest in peace Kyle. These guys were definitely knew what they were doing, and while I was never, you know, a huge fan, I definitely saw the qualities in these guys and they were really enjoyable. Yeah, it's a shame that it just ended how it ended, man. So I'm going to give them the B tier. Motionless in White. Now I believe that I heard a couple songs, really catchy stuff. Even though I'm not into, you know, all that gothic, you know, vampire kind of styling that they have, they have great choruses, they have great songwriting. Again, just not something that I would, you know, be hyper about, but definitely extremely enjoyable. Going to the B tier. This is Of Mice and Men. Never heard any of their songs. Make Them Suffer. Now, like, actually reacted to these guys on the channel a couple of times, and I absolutely loved what they did with, you know, with the whole deathcore thingy. They just added those atmospheric elements and the female vocals in a way that just make it sound so, ethereal, so dreamy. And it was really refreshing to hear that. And just for that, I'm going to actually put them into the A tier. These guys are phenomenal. Now, Killswitch Engage. Again, one of my favorite bands, absolutely love their stuff. Adam D is such a good songwriter, and both with Jesse and with Howard, they just have so many good songs that just hit hard. The emotions are the lyrics, especially the lyrics from Jesse, are just really from the heart. You can really feel his vocals, and Howard, the power in his voice is just so freaking good. I cannot wait for the new album, because there will be a song that is featuring both Jesse and Howard in one song. That is going to blow minds worldwide. Killswitch Engage, for me, the godfathers of metalcore that I personally love, going to S tier. Chelsea Grin reacted to this band on this channel. Great deathcore, even though I wouldn't probably look up more of their stuff, because it's great deathcore, but I believe there are many bands. Actually, you know what? Let me think about this one a little bit more. Actually, yeah, there's just something I just really enjoyed Chelsea Grin a little bit more than some, couple of other deathcore bands. There's just something about their music that just is a little bit, a level higher than some other metalcore or now metalcore, deathcore bands. Great vocals and great songwriting, great breakdowns. Polaris did a reaction to these guys. Really fresh sounding metalcore, even though they, they don't really, shock. They have great vocals, awesome songwriting. They just hit you with that chorus, and it just soars, man. It really, imprints. They really imprint that chorus in your brain, and overall vocals sound really fantastic, and it just works. Going to the B tier because I have not heard all their stuff, but I will probably check it out later. Now, Trivium. Trivium is one of the bands that I have the weirdest relationship with, basically, because when I heard them for the first time, I was like, okay, so these guys are really talented, but something just puts me off, and that something was Matt's clean vocals. I could not get into them for the longest time. Then Silence in the Snow came out, and I heard the title song. I was like, okay, so this is all clean vocals now? He got really better. I was like, okay, this is really good. I really enjoy this, and even though I didn't enjoy all the songs on that album, definitely enjoy the title song and Until the World Goes Cold. Those songs are fantastic in my opinion. So that really showed that Trivium don't really need harsh vocals to be great, but yeah, they were really missing from some of these songs on that album. But when I heard the whole album, The Sin and the Sentence, that I've been spinning that album like crazy lately. That album, especially the drummer Alex band, is so freaking good. So much energy, amazing solos, amazing, rhythm guitars. Matt, he's just changing up those vocals. It sounds fantastic. Choruses are fantastic. Lyrics, for me, Trivium, right now, definitely going into the S tier, man. Miss May I did the reaction, was great, enjoyed it, but again, not something that I would be totally crazy about. As I Lay Dying, on the other hand, I would say one of the best metalcore bands today, even though, they had all that crazy stuff with Tim, but we're here for the music, and when it comes to music, for me, As I Lay Dying definitely do belong into the B tier. Asking Alexandria was never really too hyped about them. I don't know, it was cool, but at the same time, some songs were, really great, but nothing. I'm actually going to put them into the C tier because, I don't know, the latest album, it just didn't catch me, man, for some reason. In Flames. Now, In Flames, these guys used to be my favorite band, and while I still love their music, I believe that they kind of devolved a little bit. Anders is getting better at the clean vocals, that is for sure. But I just don't think that, goddamn it, camera, work with me here. I just don't think that he's able to write that many, you know, vocal lines, clean vocal lines that just stick, at least to me. The title song from the last album and like a couple others, the singles that were released before the album came out, were really good, but the rest just disappointed me so much. But, you know, I still love them. They were one of the, basically my first heavier band when Come Clarity came out, and I still love them, saw them, you know, a couple of times, get photos with almost all the members. Gotta put them into the A tier. I love In Flames, even though, you know, the latest stuff doesn't really always connect with me all that well. Pierce the Veil, heard them a couple of times, but the vocals just kinda didn't do it for me. It was way too freaking high. And I do love me some, you know, high notes and higher pitched vocals, but this was way too much, man. So yeah, the talent is, yeah, probably there, but wasn't really for me. Pierce the Veil to the C tier. Alexis in on Fire, haven't heard them. The same with Yumi at 6. The same with Dance Gavin Dance. The same with Amorosa. Hands Like Houses. God damn it, so many bands that I have not heard yet. Now, Kingdom of Giants I actually checked out on my latest stream, which I unfortunately deleted because I'm a dump, and Kingdom of Giants was enjoyable, but again, something that I would probably, yeah, if I heard it somewhere, I would be like, yeah, this is great, but not something that I would just, you know, look up and listen to on a daily basis. Silverstein, probably never heard of these guys as well. Dead by April, now this was one of the first bands that I've heard were trying to experiment with, you know, metal and pop, and it really worked. It really worked at the time, but not all of their songs really hit the mark with me, and I've actually been following these guys since their demos on MySpace, and I believe those demos that they put out back then were the best songs, basically. So I don't really know. They are good, I like them, I enjoyed their style, but for now I'm just going to put them into the B tier. Sorry about that. Avatar. Now, Avatar have definitely a unique image, a unique approach to their music, and I don't know, man. The newest album, it was kind of a hit and miss for me. I mean, I did a Statue of the King on the channel, that was a great song, really enjoyed it, really enjoyed the vibe overall. And on the previous albums there were a couple of great songs that I enjoyed, actually a lot of songs that I enjoyed. But the latest album kinda, I don't know, man. If the latest album was just, you know, packed with songs that if I would enjoy every single song, I would probably move them into the S tier. But for now on, they are going into the A tier. Our Hollow, Our Home. That was one of the first bands that I reacted to on this channel, and they were fun, but again, not something that I would look up again. But if I heard them somewhere, I would be like, hell to the yeah. And the last band is Buried Tomorrow. These guys, reacted to them on the channel, great metalcore, but it's just probably going to stay at great metalcore, so it's going into the B tier. Whew. Alright, so there we have it. There is my tier maker chart for the metalcore bands. There's not just metalcore, you know, you have progressive metal, you have deathcore, all kinds of stuff, melodic death metal even. And my voice is really tired right now because I've been talking all this time. I'm not even sure how long this video is. God damn it, 47 minutes. Nobody is going to watch that. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you. You are amazing. Thank you so much. But these bands, yeah, this is my list. I'm sorry if some of your favorites are, you know, kind of down there in the DC tier. You know, the C tier is still like, I know about the qualities of the bands, it just doesn't really, you know, strike me the way the other bands do. And maybe sometimes I have not heard enough songs from these bands to, you know, make a full-on judgment. But from what I've heard, I just make this call and put them into the C tier. The D tier is something that I really like, don't enjoy, don't like, especially, you know, Black Wild Brides and Capture a Crown. That was something that just did not work with me at all. B tier, you know, the middle road, enjoyed it, but not something that I would listen to on daily basis. A tier, really awesome bands that I love listening to, and the S tier is just, you know, legendary bands that I absolutely love. So yeah, there is my list. If you want me to check out some of these bands that I've put into the not heard yet, and there are many bands, god damn it. If you want me to check out some of these bands that I have not heard yet, let me know down in the comments below. Again, if you made it here, oh my god, almost 50 minutes. Nobody is going to watch this till the end. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much. I don't know if this was really all that entertaining. I hope it at least entertained you a little bit. Let me know what your rankings are, if you would, pick, if you would, I don't know, maybe you would put all that remains into the S tier, Tesseract into D tier, something like that. Let me know your rankings, let me know your favorite bands from this list, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day, evening, night, or whatever you have right now.